Hey guys, and welcome back to Doom for the beginning of the end, although that's a bit of false advertising because there's like 8 more parts to go.
Can you imagine how ominous Futurama would be if the guy who greets you when you come out of the cryogenic chamber just goes, "Welcome to the beginning of the end"? It's like, ah, shit.
Ah, shut up, Jerry, you say that every time.
Outside of the base, so it is recommended that workers buddy up when journeying onto the Martian surface.
This UAC spokesperson, he's alright. He has the safety of the generic employee in mind.
Yeah, although, you know, we've already got Doom Guy. Doom Buddy doesn't really strike fair into the hearts of Hell's minions.
Can you just imagine, just like, I'm gonna buddy up with Doom Guy. Hey, no fair! I wanted to buddy up with Doom Guy.
Well, you know, I think eventually you'd end up like what happens to NPCs in the first God of War. Doom Guy will crack your head open and drink the delicious blue energy inside for health.
Pretty much. And that's pretty much correct right down to the blue energy part as well.
Nice, nice. Oh my god. This is the most recent level I've played in Doom. I've decided to, like, play as much as I need for each recording session every time I stream, and I fell right down into the void below, and needless to say, my voice and my very demeanour were quivering with fear of embarrassment. Oh no, balls exposed on stream.
Yes, I saw that, and I can relate because I'm pretty sure I did the exact same thing when I played through the first time.
No wait, go back. Shiny.
Oh, there's power-ups over there, dude. Come on, priorities. But yes, this big old shiny thing is the thing that's been introduced in Part 4, which is the Rune Trials. There will be many of these scattered across levels from this point onward, and they involve little challenges in purpose-built arenas where you have to kill a certain amount of enemies with a particular weapon, or maybe there's like a platforming section that you have to do. So it's little challenges like that, and they reward you with additional power-ups that will help you along your way. So the one we're getting here is a vacuum, which increases the radius that you pick up ammo, health, etc. that drop from enemies. But later on you can get things that like increase the stagger duration on enemies, so you have more time to land a glory kill.
Well,
and
I can tell you what's getting swapped to the moment we get it, because I ain't having no fucking treasure magnet in an FPS game. Okay, I'm perfectly capable of walking over the power up and picking it up.
It does offer you a little bit in terms of mobility, but it is like one of the more underwhelming rune power-ups in the game, I will admit.
You think you're going to get like a vacuum power-up where you can suck enemies into your fist and blow them up, but no. No, it just grabs things from far away, alas.
No, attach the vacuum to your chainsaw, so when you point at them, it just drags them into the chainsaw blade.
Ooh, that's pretty cool, actually. Something for another game, perhaps. But I gotta say about these rune challenges, I actually quite like them a lot. They remind me of the missions in Time Splitters a little bit, and it's a level of levity I wasn't expecting from the game. I mentioned its snarky sense of humour, but there's a pretty, like, arcadey sense of humour running throughout the whole game, which is really pleasant.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that, because in one of the patches after Doom's initial release, they did actually put an arcade mode into the game where you play through the levels one by one, and it has like a score feature where killing more enemies gives you a higher multiplier which you can keep stacking, and you just go through the level as best you can and score as many points as possible. It's a good way to experience the game if you're not interested in any of that extra story stuff that gets attached to the main game, although that said, it isn't a whole lot, but, you know, if you've already played through the game once or twice, you may just want to get on with it, to be honest. So, I can definitely see the appeal.
So is that available from the get-go, or do you have to complete the game first?
That I'm not entirely sure on, because obviously I completed the game, you know, before the patch came out, so I couldn't actually tell you if it's something that's available right away, or if it's something you gotta play through the game normally first in order to get.
Okay.
I'd like to think that maybe you might be able to access it from the get-go, but it would make more sense for it to be available after you complete the game the first time.
Oh, you unlock the toxin refinery, nice.
Yes, I vaguely remember that level. I think that's like, it's either like the level before the Hell Knights first appear in the original Doom, but I'm not entirely sure. My memory's a little fuzzy on that one, and unfortunately that door does not work, so I guess there's nothing else left for us to do here, apart from not falling into green goop, obviously.
Yeah, let's not have another Foundry debacle where you Terminator it up in the red stuff below.
It was just begging you to use a rocket launcher in that situation. And it kind of ties into what I was saying earlier, where with almost every new weapon that you pick up when you intend to, there's usually always an area where you can just immediately put it to great use.
Yeah, that's good game design, I think. Give the player a nice toy and give him a good playground to test it in. It's all you need.
Well, there is one weapon we're getting later on which I think perhaps personifies that example the best, but we'll save that moment for when we get to it, because that's a little ways off yet.
I'd rather not be spoiled right now, even though I've seen the entire level list, which they just give you to scroll down high scores and whatnot. Hello, big boy. I think he's ready for a rocket launcher or two.
Oh yes, obviously you have to be careful, because if you fire a rocket launcher at point blank, you're probably going to suffer from some of the recoil damage.
Mine.
He did not see that one coming.
Oh, the Hell Knight died. I didn't even see him keel over.
Yeah, I know, I just kind of shot at him with a rocket, and then before I know it, he just kind of disappeared. It was just like, oh, I guess I killed him.
It's weird how rocket launchers work like that.
Well, sometimes it's a matter of, you know, when you get them down to a certain amount of health, they enter that stagger state that allows you to get the glory kill on them. If you bring him down low enough and then hit him with a high-power weapon like the rocket launcher or the Gauss rifle, sometimes you can skip that stagger state and just immediately kill them outright. And it's those moments that kind of surprise you, because you kind of expect, okay, I'll shoot at this guy a bit, he'll enter the stagger state, and then I can opt to either shoot at him to kill him, or go in for the glory kill. When you kind of skip that glory kill step, it kind of throws you off a little bit, because you think, oh wait, I haven't killed this guy yet, because he hasn't entered the stagger animation yet. But you did, you just skipped it.
Okay, my eyes just went in different directions there for a second.
So this is a pretty open level. Like, a lot of it tends to kind of cut through this central area that we're in now.
Yes, yeah.
But there's a lot of side rooms and corridors and secret passages that you can go through. They kind of wrap around and eventually lead you back here. So this is like one of the first areas where you can really get your exploration on and kind of see and visit things in the order that you want to. And there we go, we just turned that Hellraiser thingamajiggy into Kibble. Hell Knight, yeah. Not Hellraiser, that's the other guys with the railgun looking thing.
He dead.
Ooh, he very dead. And there's the Hellraiser there. They're kind of mean.
Yeah, they're also a little bit annoying, because they're sort of like snipers hiding in the background, but one explosive charge from the shotgun is usually what I need, all I need, even to take them out.
They go down about as quickly as a normal possessed brute would, but they do hit incredibly hard, and from long distances too, so it's one of those things that if you see one with a targeting reticule going around, you want to try your damnedest to get to them and kill them as soon as possible.
It's weird how one of the optional objectives in this is find the auto-map station. You'd think that wouldn't be classified as a secret, because you do kind of need a map, you know, to find your way around, but I guess they wanted to change it up for this level.
Well, the thing is, you always have a map of some description, it's just the auto map kind of fills it out for you, so you can obviously find more of the map by exploring manually, but finding the auto map basically shows you what the entire area looks like.
Ah, okay.
And I think the auto map in this one is a little more well hidden than the others, which I guess would be fit into putting it into a challenge on this level, since it's, you know, it's not pretty much directly in front of you this time.
What are you looking for here, mate?
Seeing if there's any secrets around here. I was half expecting the elevator just to suddenly just come crashing down on top of me. But luckily that was not the case.
Is that a chainsaw I saw back there?
When you see a weapon for the first time, it's not always the last time you're going to see it. They do give you multiple opportunities to pick up a weapon that you might have missed.
Okay, that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Also, at the best, when if you already have the weapon, it's a decent amount of ammo for that weapon for you.
We're only temporarily disabling the tower.
Samuel Hayden. You naive fool.
Carefully release the hinges.
Doom Guy knows not the meaning of the word careful.
Don't invite him to your house to play Operation, kids. Your cat will end up going through, like, the fucking television.
So, basically, Hayden is trying to coax you into assisting him with the whole Olivia Pierce problem. But at the same time, is trying to make sure that he can preserve his baby, which is the Argent energy production. But of course, that is also causing more problems with the demons, etc. So, Doom Guy gives no fucks about what his personal feelings on this matter is. If it produces hell energy, it's probably going to be destroyed.
Yeah, it's not my problem. Find another renewable energy. Like, what, we run out of wind on Earth or something?
Imagine if they actually did, and that's like half the reason they came in. It's just like, we've literally ran out of wind. We've used all of it.
How? How have you run out?
It's too many people breathing at the same time.
Oh, the selfish pricks. Time for another Eye of Sauron situation. You did not need to chainsaw that guy.
Yeah, but you know what? He was asking for it, so that's all the justification I need.
Mordor, motherfucker! Ah!
More power!
Alright, what do you go for this time?
Well, we're maxing out our ammo, so I'm going to continue on the ammo train until it is well and truly docked at the last station.
Poetic.
Oh yeah? I mean, I've been in this commentary game for a while now. I can pick up these things on occasion.
You're at least a silver at this point, mate. Not quite a gold, definitely not a platinum.
You know, I gotta work my way up. I need a few more years' experience before I can get to those accolades, I think.
When you pick up a weapon you've already seen, does that count as getting ammo by any chance?
Yeah, that's right. It's the same thing with the chainsaw from earlier. If you pick up a weapon you've already got, that's just ammo. So if you're maxed out, you obviously won't pick it up.
Nice. These fuckers. How dare you have a shield in a game about guns?
Yeah, I get a little bit chainsaw happy in this part, if I remember correctly.
Hey man, that's fine by me, and I'm sure our viewers appreciate it as well.
I mean, obviously we have all this extra ammo, and that just makes the chainsaw a lot... Well, basically we can use it with a bit more impunity, so I try to use it in more opportunities from this point onwards. So yes, definitely expect more chainsaw antics as we get through the later parts of the game.
Nice. Man, Hell Knights have just kind of become a joke at this point.
Well, it's like I said, at this point you kind of become used to them, you know how they work, and you maybe picked up one or two more weapons that might help you out. Maybe you've gotten a couple of weapon upgrades as well to boost the power of your favourite weapon to use against them, so we got some upgrades to our micro-rockets at this point. So they're a little bit more effective than they were before, so obviously it's going to take down the Hell Knight a bit more quicker. And my god, he just took that rocket launcher plus explosive barrel blast like a goddamn champion.
Nah, well, you know.
I mean, we get the Hell Knight shit, but you gotta give him credit for just being able to take a huge amount of punishment.
Well, why do you think the Queen knighted them in the first place, mate? That's why they're called the Hell Knights.
I dub thee, sir, demon.
Rawr!
Knight of the round squish.
I am the Queen now. I am the Knight and the Queen.
Yeah, just like have one with just like this partially bent and destroyed crowd, and it's just like got the biggest grin on his face in the universe. Maybe give him a wig as well.
Now this is completely new to me. I never entered this room when I was playing through.
Ah, this is where you can find another one of those little drones that give you additional gubbins to your weapons.
Nice.
But yeah, not every area in this game is mandatory. Like, you can see, like, entire areas of the game that you would never have even thought to have gone into initially, because you didn't really need to be there, but especially when you're playing the first time, you kind of get this whole sense of wanting to explore around and see what's what. So sometimes you just stumble into areas like this.
I'm loving the chainsaw usage, mate. God bless you.
Well, you know me, I aim to please.
Is that it? All fuckers destroyed?
Not quite. Judging by the music, there's at least one more.
You didn't even try. Peace.
The nice thing as well is if the music is like still going completely nuts in the background, then you know that there's at least one more dude skulking around somewhere that you need to take care of.
There's that sound design excellency I was talking about.
So here we go, we got a choice between upgrading our plasma rifle for the stun bomb, which I mentioned earlier, but you know what? I kind of want more firepower, so I'm going to get an upgrade to the rocket launcher.
Lock on burst.
Yep, you paint the target for a bit and you fire 3 rockets at once at the enemy, and they all home in. Very, very powerful.
Disgusting, honestly. One Doom guy shouldn't have all this power.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree. I'd say that this is exactly the right amount of power a Doom guy should have.
Fair enough, right?
The other upgrade's a bit... I'd say a little bit trickier to use, but it does make the idea of aiming with the damn thing a lot easier. So if there's lots of small targets and you sort of try and aim towards like a general area but you miss them.
You could have at least let him get over the railing first, mate.
No! I have no sympathy to the denizens of hell.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You know, that's for their own governing body to sort out.
Ooh. Oh. Well, you're gonna pull that lever for a second there.
That's not a lever, unfortunately. That's just a handle for the crate pushy thing. But yeah, the other upgrade for the rocket launcher is the remote burst. So you can basically detonate the rocket in midair, which is very handy for basically shooting it over a wide area of enemies and just nuking them all at once, rather than having to be careful about where you aim to make sure the damn thing actually hits something. But I prefer just the pure power of the lock-on burst. But you know what else I prefer? It's this thing right here.
Oh my god!
Say hello to Bessie!
Oh my god, it looks great as well.
Oh yeah. This is the good shit right here, the super shotgun.
Look at all that ammo!
Well, we have gotten the ammo pickups along the way, so, you know, that definitely helps. And we have one more ammo upgrade we can get after this as well, so eventually you can get a maximum of 60 ammo for this thing. And look just how much this thing minces. It is incredible.
Jesus!
That was pretty much my first reaction to it as well, and just seeing imps and such just get blown entirely to bits by this thing is... It's something that can't really be replicated by other weapons unless it's called either the rocket launcher or the BFG 9000.
Steady on, Volk.
I cannot steady on. I am Sonic, Destroyer of Worlds, with a shotgun.
Oh my god, that took him out in like 3 or 4 hits.
Yeah, when you get in point-blank range, this thing will make light work out of basically every enemy in the game, barring maybe a Mancubus, but that's only because they're a lot more resistant to bullets than any other enemy in the game. But, you know, I'm trying my best not to ignore the other weapons as well, but expect to see quite a bit of the super shotgun as well, because it's just a nice go-to weapon.
Well, you use the most powerful weapon you have, mate. What's the point in using anything less unless you're trying to challenge yourself? And we're not. We're just doing a playthrough.
Actually, one thing I do get into the habit of doing is, well, I guess it's kind of my own brand of gun catter in some crazy way. I try to use the secondary effects of whatever weapons I have at my disposal, and I tend to just keep swapping weapons as much as I can, because obviously when you're using a weapon's secondary fire, unless you got it fully upgraded normally, it takes a bit to charge back up again.
Yeah.
So I like to use the secondary fire of one weapon, immediately switch to another weapon, use the secondary fire on that, and just basically work my way through each of those weapons until I basically go around in a circle, and by that time the secondary fire of the first weapon I used is ready. It's a bit difficult to do that in the heat of the moment, but, you know, I just try and get into the habit of pointing guns at different people and just constantly switching around. It kind of looks cool too when you're kind of going through all these different weapons.
That was a summoner, by the way.
Ah yes, the summoner, you may think it is a new enemy entirely, but it's actually based on the Archvile in Doom 2. Of course he looks a bit different and not nearly as fire element heavy as he was before, but you can kind of see the inspiration from the Archvile came from, how you can kind of like summon those like red energy things.
Nice.
Like from the ground and such. And yeah, unfortunately I hit the mark wrong and died. But that's okay. Get right back into the action. Different death animation for that dude for a little bit of fun bonus there for you. And yeah, more super shotgun action, because why the fuck not?
Of course, mate.
So you may well notice that we're pretty much getting through the entire arsenal of weapons at this point. There's only maybe one or two that we're missing now. The game gives you basically most of the tools towards the midpoint of the game, so then that way, throughout the second half, you kind of have all the weapons there at your disposal, and you kind of have a rough idea of how to wield them as well.
That's right, go back. I know where the map is.
Yes, I know. I was just thinking of where that place leads. If I know it leads outside, then I know there's more to it. Your doors cannot restrain, Doom Guy.
Never. Never. There you go.
Hey, challenge complete. And much like the other weapons in the game, the super shotgun can also be upgraded in a similar way. And mostly it involves giving you the faster reloading times, and also, if you can upgrade it all the way, you can actually get 2 shots off before you have to go through the loading up a couple more shots in there.
Disgusting.
Actually, that's something we should probably get into, and that's the whole idea of reloading. Apart from the super shotgun, doesn't exist.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Basically takes from the idea of the original games where you don't necessarily reload, you just have all of your ammo and you just burn through it, and then obviously when it runs out, you just switch to a different weapon. And a lot of modern games gotten into the habit of having weapons that you use and then you reload to make them a bit more realistic, but with a game like Doom, where the focus is very much on the gameplay, reloading can oftentimes take away from that. Like, some games do it better than others. Like, with Borderlands, for instance, there are some instances where reloading a weapon can actually do extra shit on the side. So, there are like some weapons that when you reload it, rather than reload the gun, you throw the gun at the enemy, it explodes, and then you just spawn a new gun. But yeah, I mean, if there's no reason to have reloading in a game and you just want it to be fun, just don't bother with reloading. I mean, obviously it worked for Doom. And I imagine they'll probably do something similar for Wolfenstein.
You missed the Rune challenge, man. It was a pretty fun one as well.
Yeah, unfortunately I did, and I blame myself for that one just because I was so focused on making my way forwards. And yes, I do also notice that Berserk power-up. I also picked that up way too late. It just goes back to what I'm saying. You just focus so much on the enemies that are in front of you. You just almost completely ignore the power-up, and then at the last minute you see it and you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. It's like right there, I notice it's there, but I'm so focused on these enemies right now that I'm just kind of chewing my way through them, so I'm just hoping against hope that there's more enemies for me to kill with the Berserk power-up.
Ah, it's fine. You can end the level glowing like Goku. It's all good. Christ!
At least I got probably one of my favourite Berserk death animations there. Just literally, top of the head. Amazing.
Mine, I think you'll find.
All of these little tokens. How they power up your suit, I don't know, but I imagine there's some kind of science behind it.
Shh, don't question it, shh.
Here we go. Now to destroy Samuel Hayden's legacy.
If stopping our energy production is what you want, then you need only...
I think Samuel Hayden's gone through the acceptance phase of the 5 stages at this point. It's like, if you really want to destroy this, then all you need to do is take care of this last filter. And of course, just because he's Doom Guy, he does it in just the most epic way possible, because stamping on it, not enough, so just pull it out. Set the entire thing on fire, and there you go. Job's a good one.
No idea what you have just done.
I love his voice.
I know. If there's one thing I will say about this game as well, for as little voice acting as there tends to be in this game, it's all done very well. And as far as I'm aware, the voice actors as well, they're not exactly the experienced ones you're perhaps used to seeing in video games. I think most of them are kind of somewhat new, fresh, or perhaps untested faces, and I really like that.
Yeah.
But there we go. We have destroyed Samuel Hayden's legacy, and now we must scale up the Argent Tower. But that'll be in another part, and my golly, what a part it will be. So, see you next time, where we'll come into part 5, and there'll no doubt be some new demons to destroy. See you then.
Bye for now, guys.